Cheers is my happy place. It's my favourite thing to watch, my favourite thing to talk about. But this box set is the worst box set experience I've ever had, to the point where I had to buy not one, but 2 copies of the season 11 collection, the final season. And I'll talk about why that's the case first, because it could be a deal breaker. It could mean that somebody decides to not buy the box set. So obviously I don't want you to watch the entire video and waste your time if you then get to the end and realise, well, actually this is a big deal and this is a big issue, and the box set could be maybe not a waste of money, but certainly not the best way to consume the show. I will say as well, I have Paramount on Amazon Prime, and Cheers is currently on there. Paramount does have a habit of removing shows at random, and that's why I bought this box set, because I live in fear of them taking it off. But I've had this since December, so about 2 months now, and it took me a while to realise this issue, because I was going through every disc to make sure every disc was fine, to look at the special features so I could talk about those, and I will talk about those. But first, let's discuss the big issue. So, long story short, season 11 disc 3 doesn't work. Every other disc, absolutely fine. There are other issues with the box set. We'll talk about those in a moment. But season 11 disc 3 just doesn't play. I'm using a USB DVD player. I watch it on my laptop. Just FYI, maybe it will work in a proper DVD player, but I don't have an issue with any of the others. So I thought, okay, fine. I'll buy the season 11 box set on its own, the season 11 collection rather, and I'll just replace that disc. I don't really know how well you can tell this because there's a bit of a glare, but the discs are identical. The disc on the top there is from the box set, disc 3, and then the disc at the top there is the one that came with the season 11 collection. And ordinarily, that's fine. If they want to release them individually and then use the exact same discs for the complete collection, fine, no problem. But that did mean that disc 3 from the season 11 collection also didn't work. It had the exact same problem. So the issue there suggests that it's not just an issue with my box set. I figured maybe the disc had become scratched, maybe it was just a one-off. But if it's the exact same issue with the season 11 disc on its own, then that kind of suggests maybe it's a wider spread issue. And if you buy the box set, there is a chance you're going to have the exact same experience. That's not guaranteed. I'm not saying that that's absolutely going to happen, but it is a little bit suspicious that it happened both with the box set and the identical disc on the UK release for season 11. So my solution was to buy the US release, and I do have a Region 1 player. I have a separate USB DVD player that's permanently set to Region 1 so I can play it. And when it arrived, I did think, okay, it looks identical, which made me a little bit nervous, but I'm pleased to say that actually it worked. It worked very well, so I'm very relieved. But needless to say, I could have done without having to buy 2 extra copies of season 11. Plus, it's just very wasteful. I don't need 3 copies of season 11 as much as I love the show. So all of that is to say, proceed with caution. There is a chance, it's not guaranteed, but I'd love to know if anybody else has the box set and has the same issue, that season 11, disc 3, will not play specifically, but not necessarily exclusively, if you use a USB DVD player on a laptop. And then we come to the box set itself, and honestly, the packaging, really ugly, really boring. I don't like it, but considering the bigger issues with the box set, that's not the biggest problem here. So there we have the front. The side, it does look like the flap isn't staying closed, but actually that's just because I have had this for a while and I have opened it a lot because I've been looking at the discs independently. So ordinarily the flap does stay shut. I've just maybe shown it a little bit too much love, which is ironic because I absolutely hate it. Then we have the back there for anybody who is interested. Over 100 hours across 43 discs, one of which doesn't work. I'm not letting it go. This cost me a lot of money. The box set itself is not the cheapest, and then obviously having to buy 2 extra copies. I'm not exactly very happy, but it's my favourite show, so I guess it's worth it. On the inside, I do like the fact that we have the Diane years in one box and the Rebecca years in the other, and we do have some nice artwork there. They are quite chunky, as you can see, but unfortunately, on the inside of the boxes, it's not great, and also with some of the discs, it's not great either, and I don't just mean season 11. The Diane years looks quite good. As you can see, the discs have some quite appealing pictures. I do hate this box set design because it's just so messy and so clunky, and the discs are actually piled up on top of each other. We have several discs there, which I absolutely hate. It makes it much more likely that they're going to become scratched, that they're going to come loose. So just the longevity of this really isn't brilliant. So the packaging is pretty appalling. I absolutely hate it. One could argue it's saving space. Maybe we would have needed a slightly chunkier box set if we were to give them more room. So I can understand that argument, but I still don't like the layout. But the discs on this one are quite attractive. As we've already seen with season 11, they didn't really make as much effort with the later years. These are very ugly. We do have a couple from season 6 there, but onwards it's just very unappealing to look at. But again, in the grand scheme of things, that's really not a big issue with this box set. So, circling back to seasons 1 to 5, we do have some special features. A few whingy things first, and then again with the special features, there are also some issues with the special features. Some of the earlier discs are not correctly labelled, the episodes are in the wrong order. In fact, I think it might have been the first disc. I could be wrong, it might have been the second disc of season 1. But very, very early on, the discs or the episodes when you bring up the DVD menu are incorrectly labelled, and it wasn't a very good start. And then for the bulk of the rest of it, it was absolutely fine. And then we get to season 11 and things fall apart. So for the most part, the episodes are watchable, they're in the right order. If that's all you want this for, that's absolutely fine, apart from season 11. Then we have the special features. I got very excited because, as you can see, right away with season 1, we have special features. And that's one of the reasons why I was keen to buy this. There was no information online at all about any of the special features. So I held my breath and hoped for the best. And we do get some. We get some quizzes, some interactive quizzes. You can answer the question and then you get to see the clip explaining the answer, which is quite fun. There are quite a lot of compilations, for example, Norm's best bits and Carla's best bits. They're fine, I don't really need them, but they're okay. And there are some interviews with the cast, which are really lovely to watch and definitely a selling point. One of the very few selling points with this box set. There is a blooper reel. The quality is abysmal, but I assume it's not the original copy. I assume maybe it was a recording of a recording and the original version is lost. So it's not great, but it's fine. And then there's one that I love, but it's broken. And again, I'll point out I'm playing this on a laptop. Could be different on a DVD player. But we get an interactive look. I can't remember which disc it's on, but we get an interactive look at the bar itself. And I think the set designer is taking us through it. And it talks about, the special feature talks about the Bull and Finch and the inspiration. And then we get a close-up look at different parts of the bar, which is great. But almost every clip cuts short while the set designer is talking about it. It'll cut short by a good few seconds. So that's broken as well. So there are some special features, not as many as I would like, and very, very few in seasons 6 to 11. Most of 6 to 11, in fact, it might have just been the last season. Some of them include promo clips, which is interesting to see how things were being advertised back in the day, because I wasn't born, for the most part, when the show was out, so I obviously haven't really seen the promos. So interesting enough, but I'd hope for some bloopers, some Kirstie Alley themed special features. None of that at all. The bulk of the special features are in seasons 1 to 5, but there's a decent amount of them, so generally speaking, the broken special features aside, I'm pretty happy with those. That being said, it's not a good box set. It really, really isn't. The packaging itself is appalling, but again, it saves space, so fair enough. Some of the discs have problems. Most of the problems I can overlook, such as episodes being incorrectly titled. It's not the end of the world, but the big issue, of course, is season 11, disc 3 not working, and then not working on the individual one. It is working on the US release, so that is an option if you have the box set and it doesn't work, but also it's hard to find as well. In fact, this box set, the UK one, was hard to find. I bought it from CEX and they cancelled my order, so I had to buy it from, I think, Amazon, but not Amazon Prime, just some random seller on Amazon. And then obviously it didn't work, so I bought the US one, and that's not the easiest to find, at least not at a not ridiculous import price. So I don't know how much I've spent on this, but certainly a lot more than I should have done, since it doesn't work. So proceed with caution. If you can watch it just on Amazon Prime, on Paramount, I'd say that's probably a cheaper option, depending on how long it's going to take you to watch it. But if you want the box set, I'd love to know if season 11 disc 3 works for you. I honestly don't know if it's going to be a problem on every box set, so proceed with caution. Obviously, I recommend the show. I think it's absolutely perfect, and I don't completely hate the fact that I had to spend all of this money to get it, because I now have my own version of the complete collection, so if Paramount take it off, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I can also now watch it. For example, if we have a power cut or something, I have the option of watching it. So I don't completely hate having now 3 copies of season 11, but I shouldn't have had to do that. And it's a little bit annoying. There are many, many issues with this box set. It's very poorly, very cheaply made. But if it's the best option to watch it, in the UK it's the only option we have for the physical collection. I kind of wish I'd just bought the US version, but it wouldn't have been the sensible decision without the benefit of hindsight. So, Cheers is amazing. Cheers is perfect. The Cheers box set is one of the worst, poorly made box sets, but I love Cheers. So, proceed with caution. It might not work all of the way through the seasons, but if it's the best option or the only option, and we do have some special features, it's not all bad, but there are many, many problems with this.